आरम्भं कुर्मः। येनाक्षरसमाम्नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। येन दौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। अज्ञानान्दस्य लोकस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकयां चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। Okay. In the previous class, we discussed about Gunadesha and Rudyadesha and Pararupadesha also. Today, we will continue with Pararupa Adesha. Till this sutra, Omangoscha, we studied in the last week. Yengi Pararupam, 94, Omangoscha, 96 is Usya Padantat. We shall study from this sutra, Usya Padantat, up to this sutra, Nityamam Redite Dachi. Today, we shall study all these 5 sutras. Okay, let us take Usya Padantat now. Usya Padantat 6196. Padachedaha Usi Apadantat. Usi is the Saptami Ekavachana of Usi. Apadantat, Apadanta Shabdasya Panchami Ekavachana Rupam. Anurutti of At from Adgunaha comes here, and Pararupam from Yengi Pararupam. See, this At comes in most of the sutras that follow after that At. So these sutras, most of these sutras are related to the situations where the Purva Varna is Akara, Avarna. Apadantat At Usi Purva Parayoho Ekaha Pararupam is the Anvaya of this sutra. Apadantat Akarat At Usi Purva Parayoho Ekaha Pararupam. So this U and this Us, they both combine to form Pararupa. Pararupa means the second letter U. So A plus U becomes U instead of Adgunaha. Adgunaha is applicable here. So by blocking Gunadesha, we will get Pararupa Adesha. What is Us? So we have this sutra, Jerjus. Jerjus in 34108. This sutra gives G pratyayasya Us Adeshaha. Jus Adeshaha. G Jehe Jus. This G Pratama Purusha Bahuvachana Ting Pratyaya. This G Pratyaya will get Jus Adesha. This will be given by all these sutras. Tich Abhyasta Vidibhyascha Ataha Langa Shakatayanasya Dvishascha. So this Adesha, this G Pratyasya Jus Adesha is seen in these lakaras, Lang Lakara, Vidiling Lakara and Lung Lakara, not in other lakaras. So in that Jus, Chakara is it, so only Us remains. So this sutra is applicable only in those cases where that G Pratyaya is converted into Jus in Lang or Vidiling or Lung Lakara. So consider this example, Pa plus G. Here at this stage, there will be adagama in lung lakara, and pa is the dhatu. G is pratyaya is converted into jus, and that jakara gets deleted, and u is seen. Here the dhatu yes a dirgha akara, apadanta here r represents solid savarna. So this akara is followed by ukara, and it is apadanta. Apadanta means this apa is not a pada, because the whole word which is formed after adding ting pratyaya will be a pada. Pada means suptingantam padam, subantam tingantam padam. So this apa is not a subantam, neither it is a tingantam. So this apa is not a pada. So apadantat akarat si pare पूर्वपरयोः एकः pararupa adeshaha. Here this pa, this akara and this ukara both combined to form ukara. So pu plus u, pu. So pa plus us becomes pus. So later there will be visarga nirmana from that sakara. So the form will be apuhu. Okay. Apadantat iti kim. Why apadantat? Let us take this example. Ka plus ustra. Here ka ends with akara, but it is a pada. Ka is a pada. It ends with sup pratyaya. It's pratama vibhakti ekavachana form of kim in strilinga. So it is a pada. So padanta dakarat. Here there is a us in the beginning. Us ra. There is we see it is a there is us. So this us condition is okay, but there is no padanta condition satisfied here. So then this sutra is not applicable. Here by adgunaha we will get a plus u is equal to o, kosra. Okay, that was about usya padanta. Let us move on to ato gune, next sutra. Ato gune padachedah atah panchami ekavachana, gune saptami ekavachana. Anurutti of apadantat pararupam from the previous sutra. Usya padantat, from that sutra apadantat comes as an yengi pararupam, from that sutra pararupam. So अन्वयः apadantat atah gune पूर्वपरयोः एकः पररूपम्. Apadantad atah. Here this atah is the saparakarana form. So this takara is added to rasvakara to restrict this sutra only for rasvakara. By taparastatkalasya, here this at represents only rasvakara. It is not applicable for dirgha akara. So a plus gunaha पूर्वपरयोः gune apadantad atah. If a rasvakara of a apada is followed by a guna letter, then there will be पूर्वपरयोः एकः guna pararupam. So a plus guna becomes guna pararupam. This is a plus a becomes a. If rasva is followed by a, then it becomes a. If a is followed by o, then it becomes o. These are the guna letters. So if rasvakara which is present at the which is not present at the end of a pada, if it is followed by a guna letter, these three are the guna letters, then both combine to form pararupadesha. For example, consider this: pat plus shap plus g. In shap shakara pakara ritva, so a remains the vikarna pratyaya a here. Anti is the g pratyayasya adesha. Pratama purusha bahuvachana parasmaipadi pratyaya, this one anti. So at this stage there is akara which is followed by akara. Now the first akara is not at the end of a pada. This Pat plus pata. Pata is not a pada here. So it is apadantad rasvakarat gune. This rasvakara is a guna letter. So at this stage, we know that akasavarne dirgha is applicable here. A is a letter and it is followed by its savarna. So akasavarne dirgha should be applicable here. But this sutra blocks akasavarne dirgha and it gets applied. So it becomes pat plus a becomes, instead of dirgha, it becomes pararupa a. So pat plus anti, it becomes patanti. In the absence of this sutra, it would have become patanti, but the correct form is patanti. Similarly, vand plus shap plus it. Vand is the atmanepadi dhatu, shap is the vikarana pratyaya, it is the uttama purusha ekavachana pratyaya. Uttama purusha ekavachana pratyaya. So on deleting these letters, shap becomes sha, it becomes e. So here there is a sutra. This one, tita atmane padanam tere. It means if the pratyaya is of atmane pada, so and it is comes as an adesha for a tit lakara. Tit lakara means the lakara in which takara is it, like lat, lit, lut, rut, late, lot. In these lakaras, for atmane padi dhatus, the pratyaya, that ikara will be converted into ekara. Tita atmane padanam tere, not ikara. All the t sangnaka parts in this will be converted into ekara. So what is t sangnaka and other thing, I don't go into details of that. Just this ikara becomes a by that rule, tita atmane padanam tere, not by adgunaha. A plus e becomes a, but not by adgunaha. By tita atmane padanam tere, this e becomes a. So then at this stage there is akara followed by ekara. This akara is not at the end of a pada. So this one plus a is not a pada and it is followed by a guna letter. A is a guna letter. So at this stage we know that Ruddhirechi is applicable, but by blocking Ruddhirechi, this sutra ato gune gets applied. So instead of a plus a is equal to I, we get a plus a is equal to a. 1 plus a is equal to a only. So it becomes 1 day. And for a plus o is equal to how, we don't have any examples. So this is about ato gune. The next sutra is avyaktanukaranasyata itau. Avyaktanukaranasyata itau. Avyaktanukaranasya ataha itau. Avyaktanukaranasya is the shashti. Ataha is panchami. Itau is saptami. Anurutya pararupam from previous sutra. Yengi pararupam. So अन्वयः अव्यक्तानुकरणस्य अतः इतौ पूर्वपरयोः एकः पररूपम्. What is avyaktanukaranasya? Avyaktanukaranasya means there are some sounds which cannot be expressed by the words in the language, or which cannot be expressed by the letters or words, like the movement of the snake or the falling of water, like that, and the rainfall sound, the sound of a waterfall. Those cannot be expressed by the words, but still we express the sound by using some words in the language, like patat, chamat, damat, ghatat, marat. Like in different languages, different words are used. In Kannada, we use pata pata, sara sara, like that. Like that in Sanskrit, these are some of the words which are used to represent avyaktanukarana. Avyakta means which cannot be expressed. Anukarana means to mimic them. So avyaktanukaranasya. So this sutra is related to these words. Ataha. Ataha. Ataha means they should end with at. Patat is a anukarana, avyakta anukarana word. And similarly, chamatto, all these end with at, pat plus at, patat. But the last word, marat, this doesn't end with at. So this sutra is not applicable for this marat case. And itau. Itau means this is saptami of iti. Mati becomes matau. Buddhi becomes buddhau in saptami. Like that, iti becomes itau. So whenever this is followed by iti, the word iti, then purva parayoho ekaha pararupam. Purva parayoho. Here, patat can be written as pat plus at. Iti I will split as e plus this ti. In this case, this at plus e. And here, please note that this at is not the taparakarana for rasvakara. This is not taparakarana. This is the sutra. In this sutra also, this at in this sutra is not taparakarana for rasvakara. It is the at portion, the component at which is present in avyakta anukarana word. This hat plus ikara of the iti. This two combined to form pararupam. It means this at will not be seen. At plus e becomes e. Like this. Pat e t. So it is patiti. Similarly, chamat plus iti becomes chamiti. That at portion will be deleted. But it, according to this sutra, it is not deletion. They both combine to form pararupa adesha. At plus e becomes e. Damat plus iti becomes damiti. Ghatat plus iti becomes ghatiti. Avyaktanukaranasya iti kim. Why avyaktanukaranas? Consider this example. Jagat plus iti. Here also the word jagat ends with at and it's followed by iti. But it is not a word which is used for avyaktanukarana. So this sutra is not applicable here. So in this case, it becomes jagaditi. There will be jastva, takarasya dakaradesha, and this is some different sutra by different sutra. Jagaditi. This sutra is not applicable here. Ataha iti kim. Why at? Consider this example. Marat plus iti. Here marat is a avyaktanukarana word and it is followed by iti. But there is no at ending in that avyaktanukarana word. So this sutra is not applicable here also. It becomes maraditi. Same just by happen here also. Maraditi. Itau iti kim. There should be iti after that avyaktanukarana word. If there is no other word other than iti, then also this sutra not applicable. Consider this example. Patat plus atra. Patat is a avyaktanukarana and it ends with at, but there is no iti after that. So then this sutra is not applicable here also. Same just one. Patat atra. Patat atra. Patat atra. So this is about avyaktanukaranasyata itau. The next sutra is namreditasyantyasya tuva. These sutras are somewhat very new sutras. They are not very familiar sutras, or we don't have exposure to these rules before also. So it may be seems very new, but try to understand. Pararupadeshah. Next sutra namreditasya antyasya tuva. Na amreditasya antyasya tu va is the padacheda. Na tu va, these are the avyayas. Amreditasya shashti, antyasya shashti. Pararupam from yengi pararupam avyaktanukaranasya ataha itau. The whole sutra, the previous sutra comes as anurutti to this sutra. So whatever the rule which was told by the previous rule is restricted here. अव्यक्तानुकरणस्य आम्रेडितस्य अतः इतौ पूर्वपरयोः एकः पररूपं न अन्त्यस्य तु वा. I will explain. अव्यक्तानुकरणस्य आम्रेडितस्य अतः इतौ पूर्वपरयोः एकः पूर्वरूपं न. If the avyaktanukarana word ends with hat and it is of a ambredita, then if it is followed by iti, then there will not be purvaparayoho ekah pararupam. There will not be pararupadesha. Antyasya tuva. But the last letter of at and follow and the ikara, they optionally get pararupadesha. I will explain what is this. In 8.1 we have these sutras sarvasya dve tasya paramamreditam anudattam cha nitya vipsayoho, like this. In this section there will be dvitvam, doubling up the word. In this section, in different conditions, there will be doubling up the word. Tasya paramamreditam, when there will be doubling, the second one param, the later one, will be called as amreditam. So suppose patat patat iti. If patat is doubled, then the second patat is called as amredita. When this patat gets doubled is the question. That gets doubled under certain conditions that are there in that section. I am not going into details of that. One of the condition is nitya vipsayoho. Nitya means when we do an action again and again, then that word will undergo dvitvam. For example, saha pachati. If we do it continuously, regularly, then we can say saha pachati pachati, like that. There is some condition. So whenever this avyaktanukarana word undergoes dvitvam, the second in that dvitvam is called as amredita. So avyaktanukaranasya is important. This patat is a avyaktanukarana. This undergoes dvitvam. The second one is called as amredita. Amredita. Then at of amreditasya ataha. So this at of amredita, not the first one. The at in the first patat is not is what is discussed here. This at from the amredita. This hat itau, when it is followed by iti, then there will not be pararupadesha. The previous sutra, by previous sutra, there should be pararupa. At plus e should become iti. Whenever it is followed by iti, there should be pararupadesha, but this sutra blocks that. There will not be pararupa. Purva parayoho ekaha pararupam na bhavati. Patat pat at iti asyam stitau, there will not be pararupa. So antyasya tuva. Antyasya tuva means the last letter. Antya, the last. Antyasya means in this at, the antya means that takara and ikara, they combine to form pararupa optionally. So this takara plus e, this takara plus e becomes e. By previous sutra, this whole at plus e becomes e, but by the present sutra, this takara and e becomes e. This r remains as it is, and this is also optionally, not always. Va, in the sutra we have va, so it is optionally. So we have either a plus e or at plus e, like this. This takara plus e here. This akara does not undergo any change. So t plus e can become e, or it can remain as it is. If undergoes pararupa, then this akara is followed by e, and by adgunaha, a plus e becomes a. So it becomes patat pateti. Patat pateti. If this takara does not undergo pararupadesha, then there will be a takara followed by ikara. It undergoes just one. So patat pataditi is the form. So this is about na amreditasya na amreditasya. So amreditasya atah itau पूर्वपरयोः एकः पररूपं न अन्त्यस्य तु वा the अन्त्यस्य तकारस्य पररूपादेशः वा भवति. Optionally it happens. The next and the last sutra for today is nityam amredite dachi. Nityam amredite dachi. आम्रेडिते सप्तमी डाची सप्तमी. पररूपम अव्यक्तानुकरणस्य अतः अन्त्यस्य. All these come as anurutti from the previous sutras. So अन्वयः अव्यक्तानुकरणस्य अतः आम्रेडिते डाची नित्यं पूर्वपरयोः एकः पररूपम्. अव्यक्तानुकरणस्य अतः, it is related to that only. patat अन्त्यस्य, this takara. Amredite, there should be amredita. Dachi, we shall know what is dachi. Nityam purva parayoho ekaha pararupam. Always, because the va is present in the previous sutra, that should not come as anurutti to this sutra. To block that va, nityam, the word nityam is used in this sutra. So patat karoti. There is a sutra. अव्यक्तानुकरणात् द्वेच अवरार्धात् अनितौ डाच. The अव्यक्तानुकरण word will get daach pratyaya. It is by this sutra. It is a taddita pratyaya. So in that 8.1 section, I told no sarvasya dve tasya param amreditam the dvitva prakarane. There is a sutra prakare gunavachanasya. Here there is a vartika. Dachi vivakshite dve bahulam. It means whenever we expect dach pratyaya, then there will be dve. It means even before the dach pratyaya comes, there will be dvitva of this avyaktanukarana word. So before we attach this dach pratyaya, there will be dvitva by that vartika. So patat dach karoti. Why karoti is used here? Because for this sutra avyaktanukaranasya itau kshamyata avyaktanukarana dvech avarardhat anitau dach, there will be anurutti of krubvasti yoge. It is not seen clearly here. Krubvasti yoge from the sutra bhuta tadbhave krubvasti yoge sampadya kartari chvihi is the sutra by which chvi pratyaya is given. From that sutra we have krubvasti yoge as anurutti. It means this dach pratyaya, whenever it is applied to this avyaktanukarana word, it should be used along with kru dhatu or bhu dhatu or krubvasti as dhatu. So I have used karoti here. It is a form of kru dhatu. Patat dach karoti. So here this sutra is related to avyaktanukaranasya ataha. This patat is a avyaktanukarana. Ataha, there should be at. So whenever dvitva happens, so we seen there are two at, because there are two words, two avyaktanukarana word. Antyasya is comes as anurutti from previous sutra. So this sutra is related to the antya letter, the last letter, that takara, not to it doesn't deals with rasvakara. Only the antya letter is considered here. Amredite. Amredite means this is saptami. So it should be followed by amredita. It means in the previous sutra, sorry, in the previous step, we saw this is a at and there is one more at here. The first at is followed by this patat, which is a amredita, and second at is not followed by amredita. So this sutra is applicable only here, the first at. So the first at is followed by amredita. Amredita means the second of the dvitva. So then in this case there should be dach again. Sometimes we see in the previous sutra patat patat iti. There was no application of dach pratyaya. Then this sutra is not applicable. There should be dach pratyaya. Otherwise, the previous sutra is applicable. Namreditasya antyasya tuva. Whenever there is a dach pratyaya applied, then only this sutra is applicable. So, asyam sthitau, at this stage, at this condition, this takara and this pakara, these actually it is not a ach letter here. We are dealing with ach sandhi prakarana. This is not a ach letter. Still, this is one exception. This takara is followed by pakara, and these two combine to form a single pararupa. Pararupa means takara pakara, both becomes pakara. This is the meaning of this sutra. Avyakta karanasya ataha antyasya. The at should be present of that of avyakta karana, and the takara of that, if it is followed by amredite, and if that is followed by a dach pratyaya, then there will be purva parayoho ekah pararupam nityam, always. It is not optionally, it is always. So here takara and pakara, they both combine to form pakara. Like this. This takara and this pakara, they combine to form pakara. Pakara. This takara and this pakara, they combine to form pakara. Pararupadesha. This is about this sutra. And coming to this dach pratyaya, which is not related to this sutra. Still, I'll explain a bit about this. In dach, the dakara and chakara are it. So they both get deleted and a remains. In presence of dach pratyaya, there is a sutra tehe 64143. This sutra tells whenever anga is followed by a dit pratyaya, a pratyaya in which dakara is itto, then there will be ti lopa. That diti comes as anurutti from this sutra, ti vimshatir diti, and lopa comes as anurutti from one of the previous sutra, alopavanaha, previous sutra. So by this sutra there will be ti lopa in presence of a dit pratyaya. This is dit pratyaya. T there will be ti lopa whenever there is a dit pratyaya here. T means in a word we have to locate the last ach letter. In this patat, the last ach letter is this akara. Whatever is present after that ach letter, including that ach letter, is called as T. There is a sutra, Achontyadi T. We shall visit that sutra later. For now, T means the whatever present after the last vowel in a word is called as T. There will be T lopa in presence of a dit pratyaya. So this at will undergo deletion. Not because of this sutra, Nityam Amredite Dachi, but because of that sutra, Tehe. So the T undergoes deletion, and we have this pat a karoti. So by combining, we get pata karoti. This is how pata karoti is got. Similarly, gatat karoti, by application of all these sutras, whatever we discussed now, we get gata karoti, chamat karoti, chama karoti. डमत् करोति, डम डमा करोति. So we completed all the sutras. I will explain in short all the sutras. And this all in all these sutras there will be pararupa adesha. We have to understand that there will be purva and para, they combine to form para. By usya padantad a plus us becomes us only. That there will be pararupa. Us is the para, so that will come as an adesha. By atav gune, if akara is followed by guna letter, then both combine to form guna letter. That is pararupa. And this atara, this akara, this is about rasvakara. This rasvakara should present not at the end of a pada. It should be apadantat. This apadantat comes as anurti to this sutra. Avyaktanukaranasyata itau. For this sutra, there will be an avyaktanukarana word, avyaktanukarana word, and it should end with at, and it should be followed by iti. Then that hat plus e combined form e. Namreditasya antyasya tuva. Whenever that avyaktanukarana word undergoes dvitvam, so there will be two avyaktanukarana word, and if it is followed by iti, so by blocking the previous sutra, there will not be any pararupa adesha, or there will be optional pararupa of the last takara and e. Takara and e become e. Nityam amredite dache. Whenever there is a dach pratyaya and there is dvitvam, then in presence of amredita, it means the first in the dvitva, the first at, that takara present in the first vyaktanukarana word, in presence of a dach pratyaya, dach pratyaya and amredita, it combines with the second the avyaktanukarana word will be there, no? If it is whatever the consonant may be or rasva may be there, depending on the avyaktanukarana word, both combine this takara and the first letter of the amredita combined form pararupa. That is always in presence of dachi. There should be dach pratyaya. This is about nityam amredita dachi and about all sutras. So this is about today class. Thank you. Dhanyavadaha.